This is The Scoop for Monday.
I'm Sean Kinane with the WMNF News headlines. President Trump is scheduled to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach. They aim to boost a U.S.-brokered ceasefire in Gaza, which faces challenges as it looks to move into a more complicated second phase. Trump hopes to leverage his relationship with Netanyahu to speed up the peace process. The ceasefire began in October and it has mostly held, but progress has slowed lately. The second phase involves rebuilding Gaza under international supervision, creating an international security force, and normalizing relations between Israel and the Arab world. The United States announced a $2 billion pledge for UN humanitarian aid this morning. It comes as President Trump continues to slash U.S. foreign assistance funding. The money is a tiny fraction of what the U.S. has contributed in the past, but reflects what the administration believes is a generous amount that will maintain the United States' status as the world's largest humanitarian donor. The pledge creates an umbrella fund from which money will be doled out to individual agencies and priorities. The announcement caps a crisis year for many UN organizations as the U.S. and other Western donors have cut billions in funding. That's prompted massive cuts in spending and in jobs. President Trump has proposed a policy that would be a government mandate for international travelers to hand over 5 years of social media history. The Orlando Sentinel reports that could impact tourists from dozens of countries, including the UK, the theme park living British tourists, and from dozens of other countries. Trump says it's about protecting America's borders and enhancing security, but the travel industry worries that stricter entry rules could deter well-heeled international visitors from destinations like Florida, one of the world's top tourism hotspots. Canadian visitation dropped sharply in the wake of Trump's tariffs and threats to annex that country as the 51st state. Another pedestrian has died on the deadly streets of the Tampa Bay area. Pinellas Park police say that a 28-year-old woman named Kendall Wilson was struck and killed last night by the driver of a Mercedes SUV on the 11,700 block of 66th Street. Police describe Wilson as a transient and say she was trying to cross the roadway outside of a crosswalk. The driver is Scott Almquist of Massachusetts. When the Tampa Bay Lightning host an outdoor hockey game in just over a month, a tented, temperature-controlled structure will be built atop the rink on the Raymond James Stadium playing surface to protect the ice, and then it will be deconstructed in the hours leading up to the Lightning's first home outdoor game on February 1st. The Tampa Bay Times reports the NHL's president of content and events presented the plan this month at the league's Board of Governors meeting. The rink will be built under an air-conditioned tent, and then before the game, the tent will be taken down over 6.5 hours. This year, on February 1st, the high temperature in Tampa was 73 degrees and the low was 41. The average high temperature for that date is 71 degrees with a low of 53. A test structure was built in Texas, and they've done 3 test runs to determine how to deconstruct the structure as quickly as possible and limit the exposure to the elements, as well as start play in a 45-minute window after the sun sets, starting at 6:30. There are several astronomical wonders to look out for in the coming year. The moon will draw the first astronauts to visit in more than 50 years. A caravan of robotic lunar landers also will be launched, including Jeff Bezos' new supersized Blue Moon. The sun will generate buzz as well, with a ring of fire eclipse in the southern hemisphere in February and a total solar eclipse in the north in August. Each of those will be followed closely by lunar eclipses. The year starts with a supermoon on January 3rd. There's also that comet that strayed into the solar system from another star. It's still visible with powerful backyard telescopes, but the recently discovered Three-Eye Atlas is fading by the day. Once the icy outsider departs our solar system a decade from now, it will be back in interstellar space. It's our third known interstellar visitor. Scientists anticipate more. The Chinese military says it dispatched air, navy, and rocket troops to conduct joint live-fire drills around Taiwan to warn against what it calls separatist and external interference forces. Taiwan says it has placed its forces on alert and called the Beijing government the biggest destroyer of peace. Today's drills came after Beijing expressed anger at what could be the largest ever U.S. arms sale to Taiwan. It also expressed anger over a statement by Japan's prime minister that its military could get involved. It'll be foggy this morning, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm this afternoon with highs in the high 70s. Tonight it gets cold. There's a slight chance of a rain shower with overnight lows in the mid-40s. And tomorrow mostly sunny and cool, highs near 60. I'm Sean Kinane with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop. Recorded at WMNF Tampa.